on, Jim.
Good morning. It is Nancy Jutton, and today is our second live call for the Get Booked on Bigger Stages challenge that we're holding for October of 2019. And I am very excited to be here to be able to provide live feedback and answer questions and get you unstuck so that you can get the message that you crave, so you can open up those big doors to make good things happen. And I see Ms. Teresa Lieutenant has joined us. Good morning. How are you
Good morning,
today?
Ellen.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I am
Awesome.
awesome.
Good to see you.
I was just saying welcome. We have a very small group in this particular challenge, so there's a lot of opportunity for personal attention. And
Yay.
so that's really great. And so I want to restate for the benefit of those who joined us by replay what we're here to do. I've challenged you to get your Sizzling speaker sheet and bio done this month. And I'm showing up 4 times this month live every Thursday at 9 o'clock so that you can ask me questions, you can get feedback, you can get support, we can do some live messaging magic. You can even go off topic if you want to, because you're showing up and you're here to get the help, and there's magic happening, okay? So I see Debbie has joined us. Awesome. What we like to do in these calls is I love for you to actually post a sloppy first copy, even if it's the worst thing that you have so much shame, blame, and judgment about. I want you to post it in the Facebook group, because then I get to actually see it, because that's my best learning style, to be able to read what you're up to. And then I can actually ask clarifying questions. I can come up with a different way to say it, and you might just get the transformation that you were looking for. You might be following me around with your phone recording it, but you don't even have to worry about doing that, because I'm recording it for you anyway. And my intention is for you to get what you came for so that you have a big success, and before the end of the sessions, you're actually pitching yourself to speak so you can have some gigs on the calendar. Because you know what? When you have gigs on the calendar in front of the right audience to benefit from your message, and you rock your talk, it's very likely that you're going to come home with new clients who can invest meaningfully in your services or buy your products or recommend you to other groups where you can speak more. And one good thing just leads to another. And when those kinds of outcomes are so within reach, why would you wait a moment longer? Right? So Debbie, I see you're here. If you're a shy person, there is a chat function. So if you go to the very bottom of your screen and you hover your mouse over chat, you can actually type in a message like I'm going to do right now by example. I'm going to say, good morning, Teresa and Debbie. What questions do you have for me? Because I know that sometimes people are multitasking and maybe they're not showing their face, but they still have questions and you want to get the value. So if that's going to help you get, oh, see, Debbie's excited to be here. Awesome. Great. So here's how I'm going to start. Donovan posted his sloppy first copy, which is actually kind of good, in the Facebook group. And he's not able to join us, but I wanted to kick it off by using his as an example to demonstrate how we can take something that's just getting started and make it even better right here while we're on the call. And hopefully that will give you all some courage to do the same. And if you don't show up live on the call, you can know that I will participate with you in the Facebook group. I'll ask you questions. I'll turn a phrase for you. We'll have a dialogue. I don't care how you show up, just show up, you'll get the help. And so Debbie's saying, I'm working on a new Me one sheet now, so this is perfect timing. Great. Okay. So Donovan is a teen coach and a professional speaker who wants to get teens ready for the rapidly changing real world so they get paid to do what they love. What a wonderful mission. He says that you and your teen will walk away with a way to plan for the future, even if your teen works in a career or a field that does not yet exist. That's kind of interesting. He says he's addressed nationwide audiences by teleclass, webinar, and live to rave reviews, and looks forward to having the opportunity to deliver his brand of wow to your audience. Then I kind of like this. He spent 5 years getting a bachelor's in aviation as well as multiple flying credentials. In the process, he has since diverted to your flight plans so you get to the destination of your dreams and avoid the delays he's experienced finding his own true calling. That's a very authentic expression. It's a nice metaphor, the whole aviation thing. I like it. Now for some of the suggestions I'd like to make. This is a speaker sheet, which means that we have to demonstrate first and foremost that we're an excellent speaker and that we've got something of value to deliver to a very specific audience. And right now, when I look at this, that doesn't come through loud and clear, because in his bio, he describes himself as a teen coach and a professional speaker. He's selling himself first as a coach and secondly as a speaker. And since we're trying to get booked, I think we should reverse the order. Number two, I think that we should say that at the top so there's no ambiguity about what we're here to do, because it's not clear what, because of the way he's got this formatted, I'm not exactly sure what it is that I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Then he says that he speaks on topics including stress relief, self-discovery, career search, and social innovation. Well, that's a lot. And I always like to say specifics are terrific. What specifically do you talk about? And what is the talk title that you get invited to deliver again and again and again? If you say that you've addressed audiences nationwide to rave reviews, well, tell me what you talked about specifically so that I know what I'm getting. Because right now, Donovan, you're kind of setting the table for me to get a whole buffet of generic things. And what I want is an entree that's so intoxicating and delicious that I can't wait to pierce the meat with my fork. And so that's missing, and we need to fill that in. Teresa's smiling at me. You're welcome to say something if you want.
Well, you can turn a phrase, girlfriend.
So for all of us who are creating a topic, whether we're reinventing ourselves to this new thing that we want to do, or we're just getting started, or who knows where we are on our path, take the time to think about what you're going to talk about. I'm going to use myself as an example, and I'm going to turn off the phone and tell people that I'm on a call. There you go. Many of you know that I used to talk a lot about how to transform your boring bio from wallpaper to wow to attract clients now. What's cool about that topic is I'm letting people know the transformation that they will get. Transform your boring bio from wallpaper to wow to attract clients now. There is a juicy, delicious benefit that you will get if you just belly up to the bar and hear this talk that I'm going to give, right? So if you're stuck on what you're going to call your talk, start with what the transformation is going to be for the person or people that you're desiring to influence, and make sure that what you talk about is really juicy. And so I'm gonna call out a couple of people that I know who might have missed the mark on this in the real world. You know, I saw someone on a Facebook group say that what she does is helps people embrace, what did she say? Embrace, it was like embrace loneliness, your path to a better life. You know, embrace, it was something like that, embrace loneliness. And I thought to myself, whoa, 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 I can't wait to, of all the kind of talks that I could go and listen to, that's not one of them. Another person says, get ready for grief. Okay, I'd rather do anything than get ready for grief. You know, I'd rather lay down face down on my own whatever than go to a talk about getting ready for grief. Sometimes you have to see what other people are talking about to realize, wow, what were they thinking? That might be their thing, but is that so niched down to such a narrow audience that nobody wants to go? So anyway, transform your boring bio from wallpaper to wow to attract clients now. It's got some alliteration. It rolls off your tongue. It sounds like something that would add some pizzazz to the program. it's easy to make the leap that people in the audience might want to hear it. Awesome sauce. But because I'm transitioning to this life goes on roadmap thing, and I want to speak to financial advisors, I have a new topic that I talk about, which is how to guide your clients to get ahead of what if and God forbid situations before they become hardships. Okay, at least you know what I talk about. And if you don't know how to do that, maybe you're interested in learning how, and you're probably wondering, well, what will I learn? And will I get continuing education credit if I show up? And oh, what do you know? You do. So every one of us, where no matter how successful or whatever, we can always change our topic, but we have to get specific about what the audience will learn and word those things in such a way that they're intriguing, there's some surprise, there's some interest, there's something. So back to Donovan, I want to know, what is the one talk you want to give again and again, amen, so that you could get better at delivering that talk everywhere you go, and every time you give it, you get invited to give it to 5 more groups. The way you have it now, stress relief, self-discovery, career search, and social innovation, it's just too generic, and it's not going to turn any heads. I like that you say that you're the future #1 best-selling author of Team Takeoff, How to Get Paid to Be Yourself and Do What You Love. And that shows that you've got a sense of humor, but you're aspirational and you're trying to make a difference. But then what you do is you offer a link to your website. And I think that one of the things you might consider, Donovan, is offer a visual of your Get Ready quiz and encourage people to go and download it right now. Because if they go to get your download, at least you can capture their name and their email address and be in a position to welcome those discovery sessions or those invitations to speak on whatever topic. But just going to your website, it's not specific enough. And when you think about it, so often in online marketing, it's said that your wealth is in your list. Well, why not get people to opt in to take one closer step in your direction versus taking them to a website where they could get lost in all the different options that are there and never really be inspired to do anything, perhaps, right? So let's see. With regard to the audiences that you have welcomed, Donovan, what about dropping some names or sharing some logos or offering a couple of testimonials from people who have been to the talks to speak about what kind of an impact you made while you were there? Right now, those pieces are not in place, and that means that I have more questions than I have answers. And so in the Facebook group today, I've posted Tommy Wolf's Sizzling speaker sheet, and it's really pretty, which is visually appealing. But I love that she used actual screen captures from 2 of her testimonials from social media that showed the 5-star rating that they gave her. And it says here, Tommy is one of the most inspiring people I've ever met. Her stories are touching on a personal level, and she has magnetic energy that emanates around. Another person says, very engaging and with many takeaways. Her talk on iconic leadership, your chance to make the world a better place, is a thought-provoking invitation to leaders to unleash their full power and use it to shape the future for good. Wow, it's one thing to say that you've earned rave reviews. It's even better to say what people have said about how awesome you really were. It just makes it easier to pick up the phone. She also showcases DHL, IBM, Microsoft, big logos of companies that she's spoken for, which visually conveys a lot of credibility. So Donovan, if you've spoken nationwide, drop some names, share some logos, put in some specifics about what audience members say. And then since you are the Team Takeoff Coach, I noticed that when I went to your website, call yourself the Team Takeoff Coach, because that's more specific than Team Coach. Team Takeoff Coach suggests what's going to happen for people when they work with you, which is they're going to take off instead of be a boomerang kid that never leaves home, right? I don't know. So then I had another thought for you, Donovan, and that was this one. When you are a teen takeoff coach, one of the things that might be an issue is that the teen doesn't necessarily have the funds to make the funds or the authority to make the decision to buy your services. And you can let me know if that's true or not, but I see Teresa nodding her head in agreement that she agrees with me. So it could be that the parent is going to be the economic buyer. And so this is where you want to be strategic and thoughtful about what kinds of groups are going to be suitable to benefit from your talk. So I was sort of brainstorming this morning, just a few minutes after you posted, like 10 minutes ago, and I thought, well, ideal audiences to benefit from your talk could be boys and girls clubs across America, parent-teacher association, quarterly events, charitable events that are related to young people and building self-esteem. But you have to figure out where these people gather in large enough groups so that when you get in front of them, hopefully not only will there be plenty of teens in the audience, but perhaps their parents and their advisors and their teachers will be there too, so that they can be in a position to refer and recommend you. But not being clear about the ideal audience to benefit. I mean, I want your business to grow as well as your speaking career. So your economic buyer is most likely going to be parents. So where are the parents gathering? Are they gathering on a Facebook group? Are they gathering at a PTA meeting? Are they gathering at a curriculum night? What are they doing? Because you need to be in front of them. So then with regard to your call to action, it's a little straightforward. Book Donovan, phone number with an email address. What about don't waste another minute, book Donovan today, or here it says, get in touch for a custom quote that is tailored to suit your needs. That's an expression that you can use so you can signal to people that maybe you don't want to do this for free. You want to get paid to do it, right? Tommy doesn't want to do it for free, so she tells people, get in touch for a custom quote that is tailored to suit your needs. This one says, this one says, sorry, I'm looking for another one. Contact Ginny today for a custom quote so she can energize your conference, workshop, retreat, or training. You'll be glad that you did. Sass up your call to action so that it's not so generic. Because you know what? Generic, I'm just going to use a grocery example because what the heck? Life is about better groceries. When you are driving your shopping cart down the aisle at the fancy grocery store, you have a choice to be getting generic wheat crackers from Safeway or Nabisco brand wheat thins that are going to rock your world. Most of us have some kind of a bias towards a brand name or something that's got something extra. So don't go generic when you can go specific. So those are just a few thoughts. I compliment Donovan for posting his sloppy first copy and being brave and asking for support. And I have complimented many things about what he has done to get started. There is no shame, there is no blame, there's none of that. But there are ways to take this sloppy first copy and turn it into a really good B+ effort. And I promise you, Donovan, that if you do these things that I have just described, and for those of you who are here with me today, Debbie and Teresa, if there's a parallel lesson that I've talked about that landed for you where you actually took a note or something, you're probably further on the path to getting your sloppy first copy ready to share, because my goal is for every single one of you to be a superstar, to come out of this saying, I got so much help. I feel so confident about my message. I can't wait to share it with people. And I know that I'm going to get booked again and again. Amen. Because that's what this is all about. So there. So with that, what questions do you have for me? I'm happy to answer any question. This is just our time to use as we see fit. So Teresa, let's unmute you.
I'm unmuted. Okay. So I have so many questions and I don't want to dominate the
you may
conversation,
dominate
but
you
the first thing that I question about Is it Tommy? Tommy
Um,
Wolf's suggestion? Or it seems quite busy to me. Is it a front and back sheet? Obviously, I mean,
yes,
she's
it
got
is. She has a two-sided sheet.
two-sided. So, what's your comment about, simpleness and, I'm thinking about it in terms of a resume. You're kind of like sending out a resume for a speaking opportunity. So that is the style now is to make it as, compact and easy to read and, easy to absorb. So I just like to know, do you feel that's too busy, too much information?
Well, excellent question. And I I do have a bias for putting things all on one sheet of paper.
Yeah, so just
And
not the
and
back.
and yeah, one sheet of paper, and my both of my speaker sheets are just on one side because I think less is more.
Right.
And I I because I have two different talks that I give to two distinctly different audiences, and I'm not giving them three different choices of what they can book me for. I'm just leading with the one thing that I love to talk about, that I know is going to deliver the pay dirt that I want. I keep it really simple. In Tommy's case, she actually has three things that she does that are all relevant and congruent to what she's about. And she's also got a really outstanding professional track record, and she's got a reputation that's quite stellar. So I don't mind it being on both sides. I think the more experience you have and the more juice you can put into it. If the front page is juicy, they're going to look at the back. If the front page is lackluster, they're going to move on. So take the challenge of try to get it all on one side of one sheet of paper. And if you do speak, Debbie says, what happens when you speak on so many topics? Excellent question. You might disagree with me on this, but I'm going to share my own bias. I love the idea of speaking on one topic for several very practical reasons. When you speak on one topic and you're really an expert in that topic, your own mastery over the topic gets better every time you deliver it. You have the confidence that you can bend and sway to share a new story or a new anecdote or a new example during your talk to keep it fresh for you. But if you are a busy professional and you have many plates that you're spinning, having to become masterful at 5 different keynote topics, that's more than a full-time job. And so you have to sort of ask yourself, how quickly can I prepare? How well can I rock that talk? And can I create a reliable, repeatable result every time I do it? And if you keep your focus there, that will open the door for more people to say, what else do you got? And can I have you come back? Because you know what? That's what happens. And so if you have multiple topics, you can, you can say additional topics are in the wings to surprise, delight, and serve your audience. Let's have a conversation. Because if what you love to talk about isn't exactly what they need, but they know you're the one that they want, they'll pick up the phone and call you. They will. And I'll tell you something, another example from my own life. I got invited to do a webinar for North Carolina Community College's Entrepreneurship Center as a direct result of delivering a webinar to my own community. She just happened to opt in to listen. And when the call was over, she said, that was an exceptional talk. It's exactly what our students need. Can I pay you to deliver the same webinar to our entrepreneurship community? Yes, you can. So then I deliver the talk and they loved it. And so when the call was over, she says, what else do you got? We've got such rave reviews. We want you back. When can you come back? What else do you got? And I said, well, how about this? How about that? So I've been back 5 times. 5 times. They like me. Try me. You like me. You know, if Mikey likes it, whatever. So when you have on many, many topics, could you, Debbie, narrow it down to the one that could truly open the most doors, where you could have the least time preparing and the most time getting masterful and delivering it, and let that funnel start to work for you? Because if you speak in front of the right people, and people are called to ask for a discovery session, and you can get people on the phone, and you can enroll them into your paid offerings, and let's say you offer a $10,000 program or something greater, well, that one really good lead from one talk is a really good outcome. And you do the talk another time, if you get the same outcome or something better, how great is that? So I hope I've answered that question. She writes, that's what happened to me, was speaking on cancer, and they invited me back to do a motivational talk to the community, and then I got on the same, what else do you got on my on my situation? It's great. See? So Teresa, more questions.
So do you think having a call to action be like you were saying, a discovery session to the group, is that workable? Do people do people call you, or should it be something in between, like, okay, you're getting to know me for the first time, and you know, do you want to get to know me more by something else in between the discovery session? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt on that. A couple of things. Sometimes if it's a free talk, sometimes the meeting organizer will be very clear about what you are and are not allowed to do as a call to action. Sometimes they'll say, please don't sell anything, but you're more than welcome to offer a free gift or to invite people to your table to chat or whatever. So first find out what's allowed for the situation, and then do what the best you can with what options are available to you. Do you speak for free a lot, or do you speak for fee, or how do you do it? What's typical?
Yeah, I speak for free.
Okay, because
you know that it's hard to get paid to speak in my industry. It's, I don't even know if it's possible to get paid to speak. I don't know what Steve does, but.
Well, in his case, he speaks. He and I together, in a connection with our Life Goes On roadmap, we are happy to speak for free, because if we win, we deliver exceptional content, and we deliver in a style that demonstrates our values and our commitment to serve. It will invite inquiries about how people can license our Life Goes On roadmap system.
Right.
And we're happy to talk with people about it, right?
Yep.
So do people ask for discovery sessions? Yes, they do. And you can have some fun with this. And I'll share an example. I was invited to do a 20-minute talk at a live event. They said, please, they said, you can't sell anything, but you can ask for discovery sessions. And so I said, I had a sign-up sheet, and it said your name, your phone number, your email address, and then it said your commitment level 1 to 10 on solving this problem that we talked about, right? And then in my own inimitable way, I delivered the talk, I delivered the learning, I got them to laugh, everyone had a great time, and I said, and did you get the value? And they said, yeah, we did. And are you hungry for more? And they said, yeah. I said, well, here's the thing. I actually help people get their Sizzling speaker sheets done, and I'll work with you to get yours done if you're really serious. So here's what I want you to do. Put your name, your address, and your phone number here, and then tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being I'd walk through fire for the opportunity to talk to Nancy, versus 1, I'd rather be anywhere else than do that. Tell me the measure of your commitment, and then we'll have a chat. Mm-hmm. I just did it with a sense of humor. And then when I was looking over the sign-up sheet at dinner, people said things like, I'm a 10 to the 10th power. I'm a 15. I'd give up my firstborn child to work with you. And it was like people had so much fun with it. So that's how I did it. The next time they invited me back, be very honest, there were still some tire kickers, and I was still chasing people, and that was annoying. Has that ever been your situation? Can you relate to that, where people sign up for something and they don't show up? Well, the next time they invited me back, because they did invite me back, I said, I'm happy to come back, but I don't want to do discovery sessions. I want to make a $97 offer so that I can go home with money in my pocket. Can I do that? And they said yes. And so this time I did the same talk. I had the same moxie, the same sense of humor, the whole shebang. And I think 37 of the 42 people ran to the back of the room with their credit card and gave me their money.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think sometimes it's too big of a leap to get on the phone with somebody and have to, actually reveal themselves. There has to be an intermediate step for a lot of people. You can get further by offering. Okay, so you've really answered my question.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, when you're speaking, and you know this because I've seen you speak many times, when you have a really good connection with the people that are standing or sitting before you, and you make eye contact with them, and you bring your best, and you show up fully, confidently, authentically, and you deliver what you promise and maybe a little bit more, people notice that. I mean, I know you've had the situation where you showed up as your very best and didn't even make an offer, and someone found you in the ladies' room and said, I think we're supposed to work together.
Absolutely.
So be that person.
Yeah, right.
From the moment you put your feet on the property, whether you're at the ladies' room or at the check-in at the hotel, or getting water or coffee, like, be that person, because it makes you so attractive. And people want more of that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's cool. Does Debbie have another question?
Debbie, did you want to speak up? Or type in? Let's see if she's going to say something. We have it's such a shame that more people don't come to these calls.
I know it is frustrating but it's just like we're all so busy and everybody's all booked up, and so.
Well, I'm practicing my own, advice, and I just show up in service. I show up right on time. I let people know that I'm happy to. Oh, you ladies are fabulous, and I'm looking forward to getting feedback on my one sheet. Good.
I would like to, if you want to keep going, Nancy, I would like to go over my 2 possible titles.
Okay.
And have you help me with that.
Great.
So I'm looking for the one that is going to really make a difference to people. So the first one is, and I have a tendency to really write too much. I'm an overwriter, so I love your title that's just a few words. 3 unaddressed hurdles that rob women of financial independence. And I don't have the next. Oh, let me show you this one. The number 1 reason women lack confidence with money, and how to reinvent your financial blueprint from bag lady to fat cat.
Oh. There's good stuff there. So
yeah,
I would be even stronger if I could see it in front of me. So I don't know if you can type it, but when you said from bag lady to fat cat, that is so memorable. From bag lady fears to fat cat confidence. Okay. That might be interesting, because that is the number 1 fear that women have, is that they're going to be in a van under a bridge with their cat with too much month left at the end of the money.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
From transform your bag lady fears to fat cat confidence. No whining allowed. See how you're laughing? That's a cool reaction, because it is a somber topic. You know how we're saying get ready for grief? It's like, oh God, please, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to, but no whining aloud. It's sort of disarming.
Yeah.
So transform your bag lady dreams into fat cat confidence. Starting today, no whining aloud. I mean, that's interesting. And you'd say during this straight talking presentation, you will discuss, and then you had some things about the number one
reason why women lack confidence with money.
Yeah, that could be that could be your first bullet point.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's because it's got intrigue. The number one reason, there's lots of reasons that people don't nail this, but if you know the number one and they don't, they want to show up to find out what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what else are they going to learn?
They are going to learn the three top. I'm trying to think of a way to say, like, the boulders that you have to scale.
The big rocks?
Huh?
Big rocks?
Yeah, big rocks. It's like getting
how to differentiate between big rocks and sand when it comes to managing your money. Big rocks and sand. Because people distract themselves with busy work that doesn't really make an impact.
Right. Say that again.
What I said, I think, was people distract themselves with busy work instead of moving the big rocks that will make the biggest difference. So here's the way you can say it, and we're just going with it here.
Sure.
You could say, discover how a bias towards busy work can prevent you from moving the big rocks to accumulate the big returns or the big money or the big rewards. Because I think some women can really resonate with that. I have heard a lot of people, and I've struggled with this myself. Just because you're busy and moving things from one bucket to the other doesn't mean you're doing the right things at the right time to make the biggest difference.
Exactly.
The right things, the right actions at the right time to make the biggest impact. Are you guilty of being too busy instead of doing the right things at the right time for the biggest outcome?
That's good. Okay. Are you busy? You guilty of being too busy
to move the right rocks in the right ways to advance towards your bigger goal?
That's not what you said.
I know, but it's all here, and it's 9:38. So just a little tip for those who are listening to the replay, or for those of us who are live on the call who weren't typing fast enough, or my head was going too quickly. Yeah. When you get the replay,
it's in the replay, right?
You can remember what I said exactly, because sometimes it just flows out of me and I can't repeat it.
That's perfect.
But the big idea you were talking about was I'm rewinding my own tape. From bag lady fears to fat cat cash and confidence. During no whining allowed.
Right.
During this intoxicating, straight talking presentation, you will learn the number one mistake that's taking your eye off the ball. You will learn how busyness is a recipe for disaster when big rocks moving in the right direction can be a recipe for big success. And you'll be inspired to take decisive action starting today to change your fate for the better. Something like that.
I love it.
And so then it's like, wow, I'm going to discover, I'm going to learn, I'm going to
be inspired.
I'm going to be inspired. And it's like, wow, I want to start today. It's never too late to get your act together. As long as you align your actions and your intentions with the goals that really matter. And that's not a bad message either.
Right.
because sometimes life gets in the way and
Right.
people don't save deliberately every day of their working life, and might be, you could even say, even if you're getting a late start,
Right.
because that brings me to a question for you, is like who you're going to be talking to. I'm imagining it's going to be professional working women
Yes.
who,
And my vision is to pitch myself to organizations, corporate organizations, industry organizations with, professional women in, say, technology and healthcare, and the places where you have a lot of people who are hiding, they're avoiding, they have financial means, but they're avoiding the financial decisions.
oh, why do they do that? Just curious.
Because they don't have confidence, because they're afraid of making a mistake, because they are too busy. It's all of these human qualities.
Fear of making a mistake. What fear of making a mistake could be costing you, and what to do about it.
Yes,
Write that down.
I got it.
Because what we're doing here is like, if you could hit the nail on the head, and people can feel into these bullet points,
Right.
like it's not like you'll learn how to bake a cake.
Right.
You'll learn to bake a cake that the British baking show can't wait to share.
Right.
It's a different way to say it. Like, I don't want to just bake any old cake. I want to bake a better than sex cake that's going to turn my husband's life upside down. It's like, whatever. When you put some sizzle in the steak, all of a sudden it starts to sound like something I actually want to go to.
Right.
Right. So you've got it. The title's coming along, and then we've got some 3 bullet points.
Right.
And then they're going to say, well, you're going to indicate like, Jack Canfield has said good things about you. Yeah.
Right.
So do you have a testimonial from him?
I do.
So put it in there.
Okay.
And then haven't you, I know you've spoken at other places.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have a list of some beginning level. I mean, I'm at the beginning level, I admit it, but we'll get there. We'll get to the next level.
Well, listen, when I first started out, I was doing mom talk radio and blog talk radio, and I call it notches on the bedpost. You got to start somewhere, and wherever we are, well, there we are. And then all of a sudden you do something, and then I got invited to National Public Radio. Like, that was in a totally different league. And so then I didn't have to mention mom talk radio anymore, and I didn't have to. But speaking of video and audio and all of that, it's not a bad idea to let people know that they can sample your awesome delivery by watching a video. So if you have a video, a sizzling a speaker demo reel, or even a 3 to 5 minute snippet of a talk you gave to rave reviews, you can include a link on your speaker sheet. To see Teresa in action, visit this link.
Yeah, I have that.
And so good, use it, because some people don't. And that is a point of differentiation. Like, let me see what I'm buying. Let me see what I'm buying. Right. And Debbie says,
thank you, darling.
Great. You're welcome. You're welcome. So are you feeling like you got some value here?
Yeah, really, really did. I'm feeling more excited about this kind of making this title and this thing more sassy. I'm just not a sassy and fun thinker like you are. And so this is really helpful, because you just have that really nice, hey, let's make all this like interactive and fun. And so.
Well, and I have a couple other little thoughts, as long as we're on a roll here.
Okay.
You're going to a conference in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And did you know there will be 40 sponsors there?
Oh.
And all 40 sponsors care about financial things.
Yes.
When you could have your sizzling speaker sheet ready to take with you to this conference. And while you're networking, you can move around to all the sponsor booths, especially the ones with really big names,
Right.
and talk to them about who they're bringing into their next conference, and could you be someone that could come in to speak on this particular topic. And if you have your Sizzling speaker sheet with you, you can show it to them.
Yeah.
And they can say, we're actually looking for someone who can talk about that.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
And we're doing that. We're going to the same conference as an exhibitor, but we're thinking, you know what? There's 40 other sponsors there.
Right. Oh, you have so much potential opportunity there, Nancy. You really will do well there.
Well, I hope so. I'm being very, I've done a lot of speaking in my other business. There's no doubt about it. It's uncontroverted.
Right.
But when you're starting something new, and I hope by sharing this with those of you who are live now and who are joining by replay, when you start something new, sometimes it's not a straight line to big success. Sometimes it takes a while to refine the message. It sometimes takes a while to find the right audience. You got to keep sending out ships every day, even when you don't feel like it. So not everything you touch turns to gold instantaneously. You just got to hold the vision and believe enough that you can show up and keep fighting. And I've been doing that. And and I want to share something else that I did just this week, which I might inspire, two stories that might be very inspiring. One is one of my friends and clients, Rebecca Zung, wrote a book called Negotiate Like You Matter, The Surefire Method to Step Up and Win. This is a great book, Teresa, and it's one that you might find very helpful for your clients that you work with. She said to me, I want a really big name to write the foreword for my book. And I said, who do you want? And she wanted Robert Shapiro, who is the founder of LegalZoom, who was involved in the O.J. Simpson situation. And she says, I have no idea how I'm going to get in touch with him. What do you suggest? And I said, please don't laugh, but this is my suggestion. Google him on the internet. I'll bet you're going to find him very quickly. You'll find his email address, and then make a heartfelt approach to invite him to read your book or choose one of the 3 testimonials you write for him and see what happens. And that's exactly what she did. And he said yes, forward by Robert Shapiro. And not only that, but who's kind of a mover and shaker, he invited her to some charity event in Beverly Hills where she got to link arms and rub elbows with all kinds of incredibly influential people. So, oh my God, she did a very simple thing. She got very clear about who she wanted to talk to. She took a very simple approach to find him. She made a genuine ask. He said yes. Look what happened. So why did I tell you that story? Because I'm trying to do something similar. I got this email the other day from the AARP, and it said, you get a free insulated trunk organizer as a special thank you from AARP when you join or renew your membership. And I thought to myself, I think Life Goes On Roadmap would be an excellent gift to share with every AARP member who joins or renews. That's the biggest organization in the world of people 50 and better who are looking for better things in life, who want epic adventures still to come. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? So I go to LinkedIn and I look for AARP membership renewal marketing specialist. I just pulled it from air. Like, what words could I put into LinkedIn? And I found someone who's in charge of member benefits for AARP. And I wrote to her and I said, I have a bright idea for a campaign that could be an excellent follow-up to this, that could bring value to the members and more renewals for AARP. May we connect here? She said, yes. So then yesterday I made a pitch to her in an email, very tight and well worded, and tried to make it as intoxicating as possible. And I thought, what the heck? I want that. I'm going to ask for that. I'm going to follow up for that, and we'll see what happens. And so now the follow-up will begin. But I bring this up as a great little story to share, is because if you want to get booked on Jack Canfield's stage, if you want to get booked on some association that would be perfect for you, set your sights high, find someone who is a decision maker by looking on LinkedIn or wherever it is that you might be able to find them on the website, pull together something intoxicating to turn their head and start a conversation, and then make a conversation happen. Because that's how it happens. It's not a straight line, but why not aim as high as possible instead of for the bottom of the barrel?
It's a great story. Thanks for sharing.
So let's negotiate like we matter in everything we do. So thank you, Debbie, for the good wishes. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. Shelley Campbell said, if you're going to go fishing, you got to send out 5 ships every day. And it was Jack Canfield that said, practice the rule of 5. If even the biggest tree in the forest will come down if you swipe an axe at it 5 times every single day. So right now we're getting our Sizzling speaker sheets done. But as soon as they're done, we got to bring them with us everywhere that we go. And we got to say, hey, I'm wondering if I could speak about that at your next conference. Make it a top of mind priority, and pretty soon you'll get yourself booked all over the place. And if you can't get yourself booked all over the place, book yourself to do a Be Live TV or a teleclass or a webinar or whatever you want to do. But you don't have to be hamstrung and waiting for somebody's permission to deliver your message. You can do it as soon as possible. And you know what? This is one other tip, and I'm on a roll today. You might think I drink too much coffee, but here it comes. If you have Zoom video, because you want to rehearse, do a dress rehearsal of your talk on Zoom video, record it, watch it back, and determine for yourself if you are proud of that. If you are proud of that, consider sharing it out. If you're not proud of it, good on you for rehearsing it and figuring out ways you can make it better, and make an appointment to do another rehearsal next week. Because the next time you do it, it's going to be just like a sloppy first copy turns into a good B+ effort. Your dress rehearsal is preparing you for that big moment where you're going to deliver your message to some audience, and one person is going to say, that was great. Will you please deliver that for our group? It just takes one, and one will take you to the next and the next and the next. So there you go. Are we inspired? Are we glad we came?
Yes, thank you so very much. I appreciate your time so much.
Yes, well, this is what I do every Thursday. I love doing it, as you can obviously tell. And Debbie, I'm putting you on notice that I want to see what you talk about. There's no shame, there's no blame, there's no judgment. It's all love-based feedback, based at the seat of my pretty good experience. And I want you to be a superstar, both of you. All of you who come on the live replay. So if you're listening by replay, type in replay and share an aha that you got. If you're listening live, post a love note because it makes me feel good. I think I've covered about everything if there's anything else, now's the time, because it's 9:54 and we have 6 more minutes. I'm happy to stay. You want to ask me anything else about anything at all?
Well, I'm going to send you my speaker sheet today. And so I would so appreciate any update, improvements that you can help me with.
Great. Post it in the Facebook group. You can upload it as a Word document.
Yes.
And I will do that. I absolutely will. Hey, and on a personal note, I'll just share this with you because, what the heck. Tomorrow, I'm getting on an airplane and I'm flying to Los Angeles to attend my 40-year high school reunion. I got the cutest dress.
You told me you were going to do that. Oh, wow. That is so exciting.
I had eyelashes done.
Oh, my goodness. And you look gorgeous, honey. You look
it's just sort of an interesting thing when you can where does the time go?
Yeah.
Am I really 40 years out? But I'm surprisingly excited about it. And oh, by the way, every single person in my graduating class can benefit from Life Goes On Roadmap.
That's right.
So I'm offering our Life Goes On Roadmap system as a raffle prize, and
Oh,
the whole class will hear about it. And there are a lot of financial advisors and people like that that are going to be in attendance that might be interested in having a conversation with me. So even though the primary reason of going to the reunion is to rekindle old memories and see old friends, I can still see a business application, and I'm going to work it because I
business
got,
expense,
what's that?
business expense.
Yeah.
The trip.
Well, and I'm just, if you're single and relentless in your mission to accomplish the thing you set out to do, it might not happen in a straight line, but it will happen one step at a time. And I'm on the case, and I hope that my example inspires you to do the same. Don't get busy, get focused on moving the big rocks so that you can accomplish the big results, right?
Yeah.
You could say that in your talk. Don't get busy with the small stuff. Move the big rocks to accomplish the big results. And if you need a brilliance reflector to sift through the crap and show you the right way, oh, by the way, I'm happy to help. That's
Right.
you.
Right.
You could say that, and people would, it's like, talk about straight talk. Please, I'm stuck in the weeds. Can you show me the view?
Mm-hmm.
And show me how I can get there, even if I'm getting a late start. Because some people are, their lack of action has prevented them from making the most of our good friend compound interest.
That's right.
And our time horizon, which we would only hope is as generous as we could imagine.
I was talking to a prospect yesterday, a young lady, and she told me that she and her husband, they talk about money a lot, and they do have, a system about it, but it takes them 6 months to make big decisions, like whether or not they're going to buy a new car or whether or not they're going to, invest in real estate. It takes them 6 months because they don't know. They're like being distracted by the weeds, and they don't have their clear pictures of their vision and what they want and what their priorities are. And that's what we're talking about here.
So what about a simple way to hasten your big decision making process? A simple, effective way to hasten big decisions so you can enjoy the big results. If you're
Right.
languishing
That's
in
perfect.
indecision, that's a problem.
Right.
What if there was a simple process? Like she has her Negotiate Like You Matter system, MATTER. If you could walk people through that decision process, Brenda Reese, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she has this radical forgiveness process.
Yeah, I've done it. I know what you're talking about.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in her 20-minute talk, she can say, I can't go through all 5 steps of my radical forgiveness process, but I can walk you through the first 3. And if you want to finish the journey, I'll share with you a way that we can make that happen. Because if you get to the first 3 steps of her process, you're already achieving a transformation that is so welcome after years of hanging on to so much resentment and all this icky stuff that people hold on to. If you could get people to start releasing that in 20 minutes, just imagine what could happen in a one-day workshop where it all gets put to sleep. Like you could have a system, a radical decision-making system to get off the dime and into the results.
Right.
Something like that. Because if what you were just saying, which is a perfect way to close, if you are listening carefully to the reasons and the excuses that people have for not doing what's in their best interest.
Right.
And when you use their words in your marketing copy, you are speaking directly to the real visceral reason that they haven't achieved their ideal outcome. So you don't even have to go looking for words, just use theirs, just like you gave voice to it. And it was like a simple, radical system, 3-step system to make the big decisions faster without worrying yourself into inaction and lost opportunities.
This is huge. This is big.
Okay, so right on time, 10 o'clock. I want to see what you come up with.
Okay.
I know Debbie says, awesome, good luck. Yes, I will forward mine to you. I appreciate you so much. Woo-hoo, enjoy it. Love it. So I'm so glad we can have this time together, as Carol Burnett would like to say. And I'll be seeing you in the Facebook group, and I'll be back here next Thursday to see what more magic we can make. We're going from sloppy first copy to blazing hot door opening confidence.
Yay.
All right, make it a great day, everybody. It's been fun, and let's do it again real soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Have a good trip.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.